So the other spot that I had the issue is right here, and I don't have this tightened down super tight, because when you start to tighten it, this right here actually pulls apart. And so you'll see in some of the photos that I sent you, when we pulled it up on this hill, there was a bunch of water sitting up in the front of this right here, and all that water ran right back. And you'll see in the photo, because I took a photo when the water was running out, and the water just poured out of here. So my buddy's gonna weld the metal bracket here to support that. It's hard to tell on the phone just exactly how bad it is, but like you can kind of see like this up here is good, and then you can start to see like where that water rot starts to come down that line. And when you get to here, like you can just see, I mean, like this is where I was telling you, I reached in there to like see if I could feel the 2x3, and my hand just went, I mean, right through it. I mean, it's just gone, you know what I mean? Like there ain't nothing there anymore. So then I started inspecting it a little bit more thoroughly, and I was trying to adjust this blind, and that's when I realized this whole wall's right. I'm not trying to dig into it too much yet, because I gotta still move it to, you know, I gotta move it to get it where I need to be to work on it. But when you start getting into it, you know, just to show you how bad it is, I will tear it apart a little bit. You can see everything in there is just black. So the guy that I have, the RV technician, said that pretty much, so everything underneath this is gone, because the water had sat in there. So the whole entire structure under this floor is rotten, as well as like in this corner over here. So he said that what we're gonna have to do is first reseal the roof to make sure that we fix the leak here. So he said that we'll have to do that, and then so we're gonna have to rip all this out, rip all this out, rip up all of this whole entire floor. And he said we're gonna have to rip it back to probably like in here somewhere at least, because the water moisture comes all the way back into here. So he's saying that we're gonna have to come back at least into here probably, because he thinks that it's worse under the plywood, and it probably is, because it's actually bowed a little bit. So he thinks that everything in this area is just completely gone, and that whole wall is just gone. So it's all right. It's another day, guys. We're gonna drive out to the camper site where it's out at Ben's shop out here. You know, Ben's a real good guy. Ben's the guy I bought this truck off of. He owns a big construction company out there, and he's got a little mechanic shop, and he's been doing just really taking care of me and letting me store that camper out there while I work on it, because I live in an apartment out here. And I've also got, you know, Lee out there, which is a mechanic that works with Ben, and he's been helping me get this truck road ready and helping me get that camper road ready. And so yeah, we're gonna go out here, and LJ is a friend of Lee's and Lee's son, and you know, LJ's been out here working on the camper on days that I can't be here. He's doing things like waterproofing the roof and stuff if I'm busy working and packing and all the other crazy things that I got going on. But you know, when I am there, LJ will work with me, and we'll tackle some bigger tasks. And another video that kind of talks about the backstory of you know, the camper and everything like that, and how this trip got started and everything. So I won't go into too much together. I've been trying to get this thing ready to go complete our dream of heading up to Alaska. And I accidentally missed a huge problem with the camper when I bought it. It had a hole in the roof, and we had massive amounts of water coming down through the wall and sitting in the floor above the cab. And it literally like bowed and rotted out the wood, and it was already like that when I bought it, and I didn't find out how bad it was until after I got back and was starting to work on it and get ready for the trip. Luckily, we still had plenty of time before we left, so discovering that, I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not a time issue, it's more like a money and fix-it issue. Yeah, I mean, it literally held water. Once we took that aluminum off, I mean, gallons of water came out of there. It was kind of crazy. I couldn't believe that you couldn't see it. But when I accidentally put my hand through the wall, that's when I realized I had an issue. So anyways, Lee, who is amazing mechanic, amazing engineer, just overall amazing, knowledgeable human who is extremely skillful in a lot of different aspects and ways. I asked him, I was like, you know, I don't really want to rebuild a wood frame. Like, that's disgusting. Wood frame on a camper going down the highway at 60 or 70 mile an hour, it just doesn't seem like it has a good long-term life, right? So I looked at him and I was like, hey, like, can we build this thing back with steel? I know originally the goal was to get out on the road May 15th, heading out to Alaska. But obviously, I'm not going to rush it because I'd rather us leave a little bit late but secure and comfortable than leave early and have all these dang issues on the road. And all right, guys, I'm gonna go into this coffee shop. I'm gonna get me a cup of coffee, maybe a little quick breakfast burrito. It's an amazing little coffee shop out here in Oak Hill, West Virginia, called Pisto's. It's a little Christian coffee shop. It's volunteer based for the most part. And they take a lot of the money from there and they take it back to the church and go and do good things with it, right? And but anyways, they're really good prices and stuff. Good place to get coffee, burritos, and things like that. So I'm gonna fuel up, and we're gonna head out to the site, and we're gonna start demoing some wood out of that camper. See you guys in a bit. All right, everybody. So we've made it over to the camper site, and we're getting ready to take a look inside and hopefully get up there and start stripping some of this wood. So take you guys on a quick walk around, just kind of show you what we got going on, and then I'm gonna start getting dirty. Let's take a look. All right, so now we're kind of like looking up on the inside. I'll get back down a little bit so you guys can see it from back here. So you can see those holes that we were looking at on the underneath, right? And you can see here, this is one of the areas where I accidentally put my hand through the wall, and then I pulled this. I was trying to mess with the blind. I popped it out, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So I like felt right there with my hand, and my hand went into it. So I found, and that's when I first discovered that there was any water issues at all, because when I was first in here, you could see how this had carpet on it and stuff, so you couldn't see any of this. And since the moisture was coming up from the bottom, it was almost like you just didn't know that the water was there. And so it wasn't until I pulled on this blind after getting home to raise the blind, and that thing popped out of the wall, and then I felt the wall, that I realized I had an issue. So I bought this camper, and luckily, you know, the owner gave me $1,000 to help go back toward repair costs on it, but that's pretty much been it. So so now you kind of got to look at what we're working with. I'm gonna get to it and yeah, start knocking some stuff out.